Hey everyone, so I'm in a 20-foot one-trip slate gray container, and this is going to be an office that we eventually sell to a customer, but we need extra space, so we're going to use it for a little bit. But what we did different on this one is we did the white shiplap, so it's a lot more money, but it looks really cool. So let's flip around and talk about it a little bit. Okay, so when you're installing this shiplap, you have a certain amount of gap between each board, and so you've got to be careful as you're running it to keep everything consistent. And so this one turned out pretty good. And then you've got trim you can use around the ceiling. And containers, depending on how they're sitting on the ground and everything, they can flex a little bit. So there's a lot of variables, but you can use trim to fix any imperfections. So you can see here, we haven't trimmed the windows yet. You can run your shiplap all the way to the edge and then trim around the inside and then the outside, or you can stop and then trim it. Depending on your window frame or how your windows are installed, but there's a lot of different ways to do this. So we're going to trim where we stopped now, and then we will do a video of that when we get done. And here's how we did the doors. We like to keep the doors functional because you can come in and out with big furniture and things like that. And you see no electrical. We have been running metal conduit on the inside of all these containers instead of running wires in the walls. And I think the conduit looks cool. It's more work and more money, but it allows flexibility in the future. You know where everything is, and so there are some advantages to it as well. But there are also advantages to running everything in the walls, especially if you're doing sheetrock or it's a home where the metal conduit maybe is not the best looking application. It's more of a commercial look. So on this shiplap, it's a lot of labor. The material's a lot more expensive than OSB, and OSB is your kind of wafer board that you see on the outside of houses, and that's usually how we finish the inside of offices. But like I said, we're going to sell this one, and so I think it turned out really good. The shiplap looks just awesome. And you can buy 8-foot boards, 12-foot boards, even 14. I think these were 12-foot boards, and all your gaps in a 20-foot container, you can calculate all that out. There's a lot of different variables how you want things to look, and you can also start in the center and then go left and right, or you can put a board in the center and go left and right, or you can put a board at the edge and just go and let it turn out how it turns out. So, but you always start at the bottom and go up, just like when you do siding. So think about if you're doing shiplap or cedar or fence pickets or anything on the inside of containers, kind of how it's going to turn out, how many boards you need, and we take the height and divide by the width of the board, obviously, and so on. But when you're doing your ceiling, do you want to do your back wall, your side walls, and then your ceiling, or your ceiling, back wall, side walls? And so you can see here we've got the mini split lines coming through the wall. So mini split's going to hang right here. We'll have the breaker box and we'll have the metal conduit. And when this gets done and wrapped up, we will do a video on it.